Pass on file. File item 289. Senator Hill. File item 289. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1533 by the Committee on Jobs, Economic Development, and the Economy, an act relating to state government.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, AB 1533 is the Assembly Jobs Committee's omnibus bill for the California Infrastructure and Economic Development Bank. Among other things, the bill reorganizes the placement of certain definitions, clarifies some definitions, and updates cross-references within the iBank's definition code sections. The bill also codifies the 2014 transfer of funds and grantee status for monies the state received by the federal government, the Federal Economic Development Administration in the 1980s. The bill has no opposition. I respectfully ask for your aye vote, members.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 38, no 0. Measure passes. Members, under motions and resolutions, oh, I don't see Senator Runner. Okay, excuse me. We'll keep moving on. Oh, here she is. Senator Runner.
Under motions and resolutions.
Yes, please.
I'd like to introduce a good friend of mine who's never been to the Capitol before, and she has retired from the LA County Sheriff's Department. She was a coroner. So I welcome my friend, Leilana Aranda.
Welcome. Senator Hernandez, for what purpose do you rise?
Can we go back to motions and resolutions? That's what I thought you were going to do.
Absolutely.
So I've got, if we can move AB 1102, file item number 212 to the inactive.
The desk will note. Thank you. All right. Members will now go to file item 293. Senator Mitchell, not at her desk. File item 297. Senator Hueso. AB 685 or 865, excuse me. Pass on file. File item 300. Senator Pavley. Pass on file. File item 303. Senator Lara. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 176 by Assemblymember Bonta, an act relating to data collection.
Senator Lara.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. President, members. AB 176 will require the Department of Managed Care and Public Higher Education institutions to use the disaggregated categories for each major Asian and Pacific Islander and make the data publicly available on their websites. California is home to the nation's largest Asian American and the second largest Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander populations. Each of the diverse API communities have different social, economic, and educational experiences and outcomes that need to be considered separately. AB 176 will give policymakers, government agencies, and the community stakeholders critical information to their unique health and education disparities. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Great. Thank you, Senator Lara. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none. Ayes 38, no 0. Measure passes. We'll now move to file item 308. Senator Pan. Pass on file. File item 314. Senator Nguyen, not at her desk. Or pass on file, okay. Members will be looking at the following file items, 317, 318, 325, 328, and 339. And we'll start with file item 317. Senator Lara, Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 146 by Assemblymember Cristina Garcia, an act relating to pupil instruction.
Thank you, Mr. President, members. AB 146 requires the State Board of Education to consider including content on the deportation of American citizens to Mexico during the Great Depression. This bill derives from an annual There Ought to Be a Law contest in Assemblymember Cristina Garcia's in my district. The winner this year was Mrs. Hyatt's fifth grade class from Bell Gardens Elementary. When students from Ms. Hyatt's class tried to research Mexican repatriation, they had difficulty finding information. As a result, they proposed AB 146, which encourages the inclusion of President Hoover's executive order to repatriate Americans of Mexican origin in our school curriculum. It is estimated that nearly 1 million U.S. citizens were illegally deported to Mexico. We have passed legislation to teach our kids about the historic events such as the Holocaust and the Japanese internment. In a state where 38% of the population is Latino and home to many Mexican Americans, it is important that we teach students about this travesty that occurred in California. We can't let the future generations grow up without ever knowing the mistakes that have happened in the past. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Lara. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. No. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
No?
No. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. No. Wynn. Aye. Nielsen. No. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Berryhill. De Leon. Fuller. Glazer. Aye. Hill. Aye. Mitchell. Morlock. Stone.
Ayes 28, noes 6, measure passes. Members, we're going to move back to file item 305. Senator Galgiani. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 316 by Assemblymember Mainshine, an act relating to veterinarians.
Senator Galgiani.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Large-scale animal cruelty cases, such as animal fighting and hoarding, create unexpected financial hardships on the authorities maintaining the animals. Unlike other investigations, such as drug busts, animals are an expensive piece of evidence requiring care, food, and attention. The ASPCA estimates that the average animal cruelty case consists of 461 animals at a cost of $26 per animal per day. This average case lasts around 45 days, leading to an average cost exceeding $500,000. This surge of animals can also exhaust local responders. Existing law allows an animal control department, state, or federal law enforcement agency to request the assistance of veterinarians licensed in other states to attend to animals seized in a cruelty case. This bill will allow for the establishment of a temporary shelter facility to house and treat only the seized animals for up to 60 days. These temporary shelters must conform to all minimum standards of animal care for animal shelters. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Galgiani. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Yes, there is. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. I. Gaines.
Aye.
I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. No. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Wesso. I. Huff. Jackson. I. Lada. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. I. Morrell. Wynn. I. Nilsson. I. Pan. Pavley. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wachowski. I. Wolk.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Anderson. I. De Leon. Huff. I. McGuire. I. Morrell. I. Pan. Pavley. I. Wolk.
Ayes 35, noes 2, measure passes. Members, we're going to look at the next 5 bills here. File item 318, 325, 328, 339, and 342. Start with file item 318. Pass on file. File item 325, Senator Mitchell. Pass on file. File item 328, Senator Vidak. Senator Vidak. File item 328, pass on file. Okay. File item 339. Let's see. Senator Hancock, you prepared to bring this item forward?
Bill, I think there are others ahead of me in line. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Are you ready for me to present the bill?
Well, we were looking at file item 339.
I have 343.
Okay. All right. All right, then we'll move on to file item 342. Senator Bell, you prepared to bring this item forward, AB 224? Pass on file. Members, we're now going to look at file items 343, 344, 346, 347, and 351. Starting with file item 343, Senator Hancock. Great. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1156 by Assemblymember Brown, an act relating to crime.
Senator Hancock.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, AB 1156 is a realignment cleanup bill. It conforms the treatment and procedures for prisoners sentenced to county jail to those persons sentenced to state prison. They will provide clarity and guidance for trial courts in making sentencing decisions under realignment. There is no opposition. I would ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Hancock. Members, any debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. No. Bates. No. Bell. I. Berryhill. No. Block. I. Canella. No. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines. Galgiani. Glazer. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Wesso. Huff. Jackson. I. Lada. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. Monning. I. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nilsson. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. Wachowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Vidak, no. De Leon? Fuller? No. Gaines?
No?
No. Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hueso? Aye. Huff? No. Mitchell? Nielsen? No.
Ayes 24, noes 14. Measure passes. Members will now move to file item 344, Senator Wachowski. Pass on file. File item 346, Senator Hall. AB 82. Okay, pass on file. All right. File item 347, Senator Anderson. Pass on file. File item 351, Senator Pavley. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 498 by Assemblymember Levine and Act relating to fish and wildlife.
Yes, thank you very much, members. I bring this to you on behalf of Assemblymember Levine, who chairs Water Parks and Wildlife over in the Assembly. This bill establishes a state policy to protect wildlife corridors and habitat strongholds. Wildlife corridors are important for ecosystem health and biodiversity. This bill incentivizes voluntary, I repeat, voluntary steps to protect wildlife corridors, such as through siting of conservation banks that protect habitat connectivity. With this bill, California joins other entities such as the Western Governors Association promoting the protection of wildlife corridors while also protecting motorists. There is no opposition to this bill. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Pavley. Members, any debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Aye. Anderson? Bates? No. Bates? No. Bell? Aye. Berryhill? No. Block? Aye. Canella? De Leon? Fuller? Gaines?
No.
No. Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hall? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Hueso? Aye. Huff? No. Jackson? Aye. Lara? Aye. Leno? Aye. Leba? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? Monty? Aye. Morlock? Morrell? No. Wynn? Nielsen? No. Pan? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Roth? Aye. Runner? No. Stone? No. Vidak? Wachowski? Aye. Wolk? Wolk, aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Canella? No. De Leon? Fuller? No. McGuire? Aye. Mitchell? Morlock? No. Wynn? Vidak? No.
Ayes 24, noes 13. Measure passes. Senator Anderson, what file item? Okay, let's, Secretary, please read file item 326.
Assembly Bill 835 by Assemblymember Gibson, an act relating to vehicular manslaughter.
Senator Anderson.
Mr. President, Senators, Assembly Bill 835 will ensure that those who commit vehicular homicide and flee the scene of the crime are held accountable. I urge an aye vote. Okay.
Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 39, noes 0. Measure passes. Okay. And members, we're now looking at the next 5 items, file item 352, 353, 354, 355, and 356. Starting with 352, Senator Hill. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 793 by Assemblymember Quirk and Act relating to public utilities.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Assembly Bill 793 will increase the deployment of energy management technologies, which include products, services, or software that allow a customer to better understand and manage their energy consumption. AB 793 will promote the deployment of these technologies through outreach and education, and by tasking each electrical or gas corporation with developing incentive programs for the adoption of energy management technologies. Additionally, AB 793 adds energy management technologies as eligible measures under the state's weatherization program. Armed with a better understanding of their energy usage, customers can make informed decisions on how to optimize their energy consumption and reduce their bills. Customers will be able to monitor their electricity usage and costs in real time or near real time, allowing them to adjust their usage instantaneously in response to changes in prices or system reliability events. This bill has received broad bipartisan support and enjoys no opposition. I respectfully ask for your aye vote, members.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines. Galgiani. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. Wynn. Aye. Nielsen. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Secretary, call the absent
Nielsen,
members.
aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Hertzberg. McGuire. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. Morrell, aye. Morlock, aye.
Ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. Members will now move to file item 353. Senator Bates. Pass on file. File item 354. Senator Bell. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 28 by Assemblymember Chu, an act relating to bicycle safety.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators, I rise to present this bill, AB 28, which allows bicyclists to replace the red reflector on the back of their bicycle with a solid or flashing red light, provided that it includes a built-in reflector. Now, we had a recent report from the Governor's Highway Safety Association on bicycle safety found that bicycle fatalities increased 16% nationwide in the last 2 years, and a substantial occurring during the night. California by far had the highest number of fatalities of any state during that period. And current law requires bicycles to be equipped with a red reflector on the back of the bike that is visible from 500 feet when directly in front of another vehicle. However, if the cyclist is not directly in front of the vehicle, that reflector may not serve as an effective visual aid for the driver. Allowing bicycles the option of replacing the reflector with a more visible light will give them greater protection when traveling on California roadways and reduce injuries and deaths. I urge that I vote.
Thank you, Senator Bell. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, members, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, noes 0. Measure passes. Members will now move to file item 355. Senator Block. Pass on file. File item 356. Senator Pan. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1163 by Assemblymember Rodriguez, enacting healthcare coverage.
Senator Pan.
Thank you, Mr. President, Senators. AB 1163 would prohibit health care service plans and health insurance plans from making material changes in their contracts with insurance agents or brokers without providing reasonable notice. This bill is in response to a situation that arose last December when a carrier sent a notice to their agents that their commission would be significantly reduced in 48 hours. This notice was issued on December 24th, 2014, and reduced commissions would take effect on December 26th. I guess they got a holiday in between. AB 1163 would require a 45-day notice before changes could be made to the contracts. The bill includes provisions for reduced notice if the changes are mutually agreed to or if the change is required by state or federal law. The bill is sponsored by the California Association of Health Underwriters, the Independent Insurance Agents and Brokers of California, and the National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors. The bill has no formal opposition. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Pan. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, members, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, noes 0. Measure passes. Members will move to file item 358. Senator Leyva. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 496 by Assemblymember Rendon, enacting to pupil nutrition.
Senator Leyva.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, colleagues. Today I rise to present AB 496, which will help schools identify and access resources to improve their water quality. Current law already requires school districts to provide free, fresh drinking water during meal times. However, roughly 25% of schools in California do not provide free, fresh drinking water to students, despite state and federal laws. Limited funding and a growing list of needed repairs at our crumbling school facilities have caused school drinking water systems to fail and fall to the wayside as a priority. School districts may be unaware of the various state and federal funding sources available to them for addressing these water problems. AB 496 would fix this problem by creating a one-stop shop for school districts to find information on funding sources for facility and water quality improvements. AB 496 has earned unanimous bipartisan support, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Leyva. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, members, would there be any objection to a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, noes 0. Measure passes. Members will now be moving forward on file item 359, 360, 361, 362, and 363. Starting with file item 359, Senator Pan. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 963 by Assemblymember Bonilla, enacting to state teachers' retirement.
Senator Pan.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. I present to you AB 963 by Assemblywoman Bonilla, which is a result of a year-long process of stakeholder meetings with teachers, school employers, and colleges. Due to the existing vagueness in the teachers' retirement law, employers have incorrectly reported service years to CalSTRS. AB 963 will end the confusion on what is considered credible service by clearly defining what activities do and do not count as credible service. This bill also offers a remedy for individuals whose employers have incorrectly reported their service to CalSTRS. These individuals may be elected to be grandfathered into CalSTRS if the service was performed on or before December 31st, 2015. AB 963 has received bipartisan support, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Pan. Members, any debate or discussion? Members, any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 39, no 0, measure passes. Okay, members, we'll now move to file item 360. Senator Allen.